possibility of maybe getting into, looking at 80 tomorrow, but then Sunday some of the rain comes back. In a moment, we're going to be going to Houston live to the Compact folks. But let me tell you that next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we this morning taped a piece, wonderful conversation with the chairman of the board of Metrologic. Metrologic, as you know, is one of the leading laser companies in the world, and Harry Knowles has got a story to tell you about managing people, and I think you're going to love it. Right now, we're headed down to Houston to Mark Vena. He is the product manager for North America for the Presario division of Compact Computers, and Mark, formerly from North Jersey, welcome to WNJC.
Hi, Gus. How are you?
I'm terrific. We have a gorgeous day here. What's the weather like in Houston?
The way it's, let's see, it's your typical kind of cloudy, overcast day in Houston, and as I was telling you before, I wish I was back in New Jersey to enjoy some New Jersey food.
All right. Well, listen, it's a wonderful time in Jersey, and let's talk about the issue at hand.
Sure.
Holidays are coming. People are thinking about buying PCs, and it's a confusing time at best to be a shopper for PCs.
Right. Absolutely. It's a very confusing period, and I think we recognize certainly that it's a challenge buying a personal computer today. It's not a very simple decision because when the average family person walks into a store, they're really confronted with a number of different purchase opportunities, and I think we're doing a number of things to try to make that easier.
You have introduced the Presario line, and you've kind of renamed it the so-called PC appliance. Explain that.
Yes, what we're doing with the Presario product line this year, and we've enjoyed a taste of that success last year when we introduced the product line, is that we're taking a very strong lifestyle approach to personal computing. What we found in a lot of the research that we did and a lot of the customers that we've spoken with, what we discovered was that a lot of customers are really interested in practical functionality of a computer. Not a computer for the sheer purpose of using a computer in the traditional sense, but practical and lifestyle type of ways that it really can enhance the way you do things at home. For example, our computer product line, and we introduced this last year on one of our models, and we have this feature now across the entire Presario family. We have complete telephone answering machine capability where your PC can actually answer the phone for you. Matter of fact, one of the other features that we have, which is tremendous from a functionality standpoint, is that it has a built-in full duplex speakerphone, which allows a person to talk very natural two-way conversation like we're having right now, right through the PC. So what we're finding is that a lot of our customers are really interested in doing practical things with their PCs, and of course what we're doing is there's a significant number of steps we've taken in terms of putting software on the machine that makes the machine very easy to use. Some of the software that we've gotten a lot of attention with, the software package that we've designed called Media Pilot, which is like an electronic remote control as if you were using a TV set, which lets you step through different features very, very easily and very gracefully.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some of the bells and whistles. Your Presario line comes with a CD-ROM interface.
Yes, as a matter of fact, all the Presario models come with at least a CD-ROM drive and sound capability, 16-bit sound capability. So when you get the machine home, family members can play games on the computer. They can even play not too many people are aware of this, but you can even play audio CDs on our personal computer.
All right, you give me a buzz line there called 16-bit. Explain to in shirt-sleeve English difference between 8 and 16-bit.
16-bit sound is really just a designation of the quality of sound capability that you can get. There are different levels of sound capability, and 16-bit sound is equivalent to stereo sound capability. It's not like listening to sound on a mono stereo system. I mean, it's extremely high quality, high fidelity. So, for example, when you're playing a game like Doom, for example, Doom is a very popular game today. The sound effects is extremely realistic and very resonant.
All right. You have two speakers that are attached to the system.
Yes. The way our systems work is that if you buy the all-in-one system, which is our Presario 500 series, those have two high-quality speakers built into the unit itself, and you get very high fidelity, very high-quality sound. So for that particular form factor, a form factor is, again, computer reads for just the type of machine, whether it sits on your desk or, for example, a mini tower might sit on the floor, for example, for you. The speakers are located in such a way that the sound is right in front of you. If you were to buy one of our Presario desktop or mini tower models, we have something called a Presario multimedia monitor, and we're one of the first companies to do this. We actually have the speakers integrated into the speaker, into the monitor itself. So that way, you don't have to deal with cables or wires, or if you've got children in the house running around, they can't knock the speakers off the desk.
All right. Let's now talk a little bit about the video side of your Presario line. Right. What do we have to do in order to get a television picture on these computers?
Well, that's actually one of the real breathtaking things that we've done this year, is that we've announced TV models of some of these machines and what we're calling them is CD TV models when people walk into the store and check them out. And essentially what it does, it allows you to watch television in a window on your PC. And, people may ask, well, why would I want to do that? And obviously what we're trying to do with this is we're not trying to replace the need for a television set in your house, but there are people, for example, someone who's a college student, for example, in a dormitory and wanted to use one of our machines and doesn't have a whole lot of space. For those of us who remember when they went to college, you can put that machine right on your desk and you can watch TV at the same time you're working on something else. One of the other advantages to that is that you can also freeze an image. For example, if you're watching a Monday night football game and you wanted to capture a picture of the New York Giants, you can certainly do that, then copy that to, let's say, a document or something that you're doing on desktop publishing.
Okay, so let's talk about now the CD TV model inside the Presario line. Are all of them TV equipped?
No, currently right now there's two models that are TV equipped. There's our CD TV 520, which is an all-in-one form factor. The all-in-one form factor has the monitor built in right into the CPU. It's a very ergonomic, very stylish form factor, and the TV capability is actually built into that model in addition to the CD-ROM and sound capability that you get with the machine.
So this 520 is good for the rest of this decade?
Well, the way we're positioning it is that from a computing standpoint, for the most of the consumers that are probably listening to your show right now, we think that it really has the exact level of functionality that most people need. Mm-hmm. What we're finding, though, for people, who have, desires to upgrade their microprocessor and make their computer faster at some point in time, our desktop and mini tower models, the microprocessor can be upgraded to a higher speed CPU. So, for example, if you were to tell me, Mark, I want to buy a system and I want to use this, let's say, one day for some real sophisticated desktop publishing, and I'm going to be doing a lot of scanning in of graphics because I'm doing a newsletter out of my house, the system I would probably recommend is the mini tower because it has a larger hard drive. You can upgrade the processor to a higher speed CPU. You have more expansion slots that you can add things to down in the future for those, for people who are really concerned about outgrowing their computer. But I have to be very honest with you. Most people, I think, will be overwhelmed by the value and level of functionality that we're providing people with this fall.
Okay, now let's stay with the mini tower. This is also a CD TV mini tower, right?
There's a couple of models. There's a 920 CD TV, which is the same type of system except that it's in a mini tower form factor. And for those people who don't know what a mini tower is a unit that actually physically sits right on the floor right next to your desk. And what we found surprising, because we introduced that form factor last year, a lot of home users are really interested in that form factor because it's perfect for the house that maybe you don't have a lot of room on a desk and you just want a screen and a keyboard. That way you put the system right on the floor. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Very, very stylish, very space-saving design, and a lot of people are very happy with that.
So that's the 920. How many? What kind of memory does that have?
That machine comes with 8 megabytes of RAM, and there's a couple different flavors of it. We have one flavor that comes with a 420 megabyte hard drive, and we've got another model that comes with a 525 megabyte hard drive, if you can believe it, which is a tremendous amount of storage for the average person.
So they're the two. The 920 is the
mini tower, and then we have a 920 CD TV model, which is our TV unit, which has the TV capability.
All right. Now the same thing, same memory, 8 meg, 420, or 5 1/4.
All our mini towers have 8 megabytes of RAM. Our all-in-one form factor currently has 4 megabytes of RAM, which of course can be upgraded to significantly more memory if you need that. But all our mini towers and even several of our desktops have 8 megabytes of RAM right now, so there's no need to upgrade that if you don't need the extra memory.
Let's talk about a retail ticket that we might see on a 920, which is the mini tower CD TV.
Right. The CD TV model right now is $18.99. That's our estimated store price that most people would probably see when they walk into a store.
And then what about with the mini tower?
Well, that is the mini tower form factor.
Okay. Now let's go back up to the 520, which is an all-in-one CD TV, but it sits on your desk. What kind of retail price are we looking at?
The non-TV model, the CDS 520, would be $16.99.
Right.
And our TV model, which is the CD TV 520, is $18.99.
$18.99. So
your listeners should keep in mind that the all-in-one form factor has a monitor, a very high-resolution monitor included with that because it's built into the unit. When you buy the mini tower, you'd obviously have to buy a monitor in addition to that.
So you're paying another $300 for the mini tower.
Roughly right now, our 14-inch monitor, which includes the built-in speakers, is $399, and the 15-inch model of the monitor is $499.
The models we've been talking about comes with a fax modem.
Yes, all our models, as a matter of fact, come with high-speed fax modems.
In and out.
14.4 fax modems. For those users, again, who don't know what 14.4 means, 14.4 is just the speed of the modem, and it's extremely high speed. So if they're faxing a document back and forth between one computer to another, or even from a computer to a fax machine, the customer is going to get extremely high quality and very, very fast transmission time, which is great because your phone bills won't be that expensive.
Is the software for the answering machine and the voicemail included in the package?
Yes, everything is pre-installed. The approach that we've taken with our Presarios is that all our software is built in and pre-installed. The user simply has to take the machine out of the box, flip the switch on, and after about 20 minutes of what we call installing the software on the CPU, which is a very completely uninterrupted type of process, the user simply just turns the machine on and answers a couple basic questions, like what country he lives in and things like that. They're off to the races. It's a very, very simple, very intuitive, it's designed for people who have never touched a computer before.
All right. In case you're just joining us a little late in this broadcast, we're talking to Mark Vena. He is the product manager for the Presario line of compact computers, affectionately known as the PC appliance. We're talking to him from Houston, Texas. Want to talk a little bit about online help. Is that included?
In terms of online tutorials, the answer is yes. We have quite a bit of documentation and help built right into the systems, and that's an excellent question because most people, if you're like me, after you get manuals with a computer, you sometimes lose them and you can't find them when you need them most. So we have quite a bit of help functionality built right into the computer itself, and it's literally just a click away with the mouse. You simply hit a couple of buttons and you can search on a number of different topics to get your questions answered.
We have an abundance of small business women and men, or when I should say small businesses, listening to this radio station. Let's go now to the CD TV 920 with the mini tower. What else do we need to do small business accounting and so on with that kind of computer?
That's a good question. We include a very generous supply of what we call general productivity and home entertainment, edutainment type of software with the system. From a business standpoint, there's a number of packages that we include with the system that are very helpful. For example, we probably include the most one of the most popular word processing, spreadsheet, and graphics packages in the PC market today with that, and that's Microsoft Works. Very simple package so you can do letters and write memos and do mailing lists. It's got a spreadsheet that's built into that that's second to none in terms of if you need to calculate numbers and do some business modeling analysis with that. We have, as a matter of fact, something that has both applicability not only in the home market but in the small business market as well. We have Microsoft Encarta, which is a mammoth online encyclopedia that can be used as a reference tool.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while you were all sleeping the past decade, or while IBM was sleeping, Compaq became the #1 PC retailer in the country, and many people, Mark Vena, say that the reason you did that was that you really do build in the bells and whistles and toys, and people just go out and buy the machine, plug it in, and it works.
Yeah, I think what we've done, and we obviously the computer industry, as I've been in it for about 10 years, it's a very long game, and it's probably about the third inning right now. So I don't think by any means it's over. We've got a lot of hard work in front of us. I think one of our keys to success has been the fact that we really truly understand what most average customers are looking for. Now, there are always customers out there that are interested in high performance and high technology for the sheer sake of that technology. But we're finding that most of our customers are really interested in what the computer can do for them. And that's why we've taken this lifestyle and home appliance-like approach toward our PCs.
Okay, you and Intel sat down at the table, were unable to do a deal, and you said, we don't need you. Take up the rest of the story.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I mean, our relationship with Intel is very cordial and very, very professional, and I think that there's been a lot in the press about that. But my answer to that would be that what we're trying to do is match our products up with the right amount of functionality that really people really need. And there's no question that, as software gets more sophisticated and as the marketplace moves to products like Windows 95, which will be available sometime next year, there will be a need for machines with faster CPUs and higher performance, and Compaq will be there with products that have that, and I'm sure the Pentium will play a role in that. But to be quite honest with you, we really haven't encountered any resistance to the type of products that we've come out with this year so far, and we're very, very comfortable with the way customers have received them.
Well, my question is, will the CD-TV 920 and the 520 all-in-one run Windows 95?
Absolutely. Our entire product line is Windows 95 compatible. There may be, in terms of performance, there may be some issues in terms of some people may need to upgrade from 4 megabytes to 8 megabytes in some cases. But one should keep in mind that Microsoft has communicated to the public that Windows 95 will run within 4 megabytes, so even those users probably will be satisfied with that level of performance, but they're completely 95 compatible, and we've designed the machines around that.
So if we were to compare speeds here with the CD920, what are we running at?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question, Gus.
I want to know what processing speeds we're running at with the CD-TV 920.
Okay, the answer to your question is that all our machines in the fall this year, believe it or not, are 46 machines that run at 66 megahertz, which is an extremely high clock speed. As a matter of fact, it's the highest clock speed available right now in the 46 category. And what we're doing is that there's two flavors of it. There's an SX2 version that we have in some of our models, and there's a DX2 version. The difference between the SX2 and DX2 is that the DX2 model, which is slightly more expensive, has a mathematical processor capability built into the chip, which allows, if you're doing a lot of number crunching, heavy financial analysis, things like that, the DX2, the mathematical processor component, will help you quite a bit. But to be quite honest with you, most people, if they were doing a letter or writing a report or doing something very basic on their machine, would not be able to tell the difference between an SX2 and a DX2.
Is the 920 and the 520 coming with DXs or SXs?
They're coming with SX2s. We do have DX2 models available of the 900 series as well. There's 924.
Yeah, what are you asking? How much more are you asking for the upgrade?
$100. That's $19.99.
And for 4 mega RAM, you'd charge how much?
Well, the Mini Tower includes, keep in mind, 8 megabytes of RAM. There is no DX2 model currently of the all-in-one.
Okay, all right. A couple of final questions, Mark Vena from Compaq. If somebody goes out today, and it sounds like the $18.99 CD TV Mini Tower for small business or what have you, it seems a great buy, plus another, $300 for a real quality monitor, right?
About $400, $399 exactly.
About $400. So we're looking at about $2,300.
Yes.
Are we good for the rest of this decade?
I think that the way you really have to assess that is that technology is always changing, and like everything else, things change very, very quickly. With all the friends that I have who are not in the computer business, who I talk to quite a bit, for example, I have my mother, for example, has a word processing business still in northern New Jersey, and she's been using, believe it or not, one of last year's Presario models that we announced, and certainly had not a performance problem, or I don't believe that she'll ever be in a situation where she'll find herself running a small business that she'll need probably more than that. I mean, she may have to get a larger hard drive at one point or add some memory, but that's really the beauty of the way these machines have been designed, especially the mini tower models and the desktop models, is that they're really designed to last you for quite some time. So I think that the answer to your question is that most users buying a machine this year should feel very comfortable that the machines will stay with them quite a bit of time.
I told my audience this morning that you were going to be our guest, and they said ask one question about recording on CD right off the screen. Is that too far out?
Well, right now there are technologies out there they're called recordable CD-ROM drives that are out on the marketplace right now, but they're fairly expensive. They've been on the market for about 2 or 3 years, and obviously those can be purchased as options from other non-compact companies that are out there, and they can certainly work with our Presario family. The thing that the people will find is they're very expensive. They're typically in the anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 just for the drive itself. But I will tell you that there probably will be a time coming, in the probably the near future that you'll see technologies that allow you to take mass storage devices like a CD-ROM and record to them. But we're not really quite there right now.
Yeah. These price points of $18.99 for the 520 all-in-one, including the monitor plus the mini tower, are we looking at those price points holding through the holidays? Or are we looking for some weakness there?
No, I think that given the acceptance of the system so far that we've seen since we announced these about a month ago, I think the price points will stay relatively stable between now and the end of the year. We don't really do that much analysis beyond that, so we really take a look at it on a day by day basis. But right now, I think you'll see price points stay very stable through the first of the year.
Mark Vena is the product manager for Presario. Presario is the PC appliance that's being manufactured and distributed now by the friends at Compaq in North Houston, Texas, where I'm talking to him. Hey, Mark, come back to Jersey and say hi, will you?
Certainly will.
All right, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks very much, Gus.
My pleasure. I'm Gus Cawley for WNJC Radio News, 16 before 1 o'clock. Glorious day outside. Well, Rusty Wallace is coming to town. WNJC is going to be there, and we'd like to invite you to come along, too. So here's Morley's with all of the info. Morley's Race Cards presents the 4th Annual Auto Racing Memorabilia and Toy Show. It's at the Belmar Park Fire Hall, 12 Essex Avenue in Belmar, and it's coming up November the 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then, from noon to 2, it's Rusty Wallace. So why don't you pick up your tickets now at Morley's right here in Pittman. Number 2, Rusty Wallace, the Rusty Wallace car, those Hooter girls, and all that fun. Don't forget, it's coming! Come to New Deal Lumber this week and save 68% off manufacturer's list on Schrock kitchen cabinets. Buy 12 or more Schrock cabinets and get a free sink worth $40. Come to New Deal in Blackwood this week and buy Schrock Deluxe kitchen cabinets. Get yourself a free dishwasher. The Schrock Spectacular Kitchen Sale is going on now at New Deal Lumber, the Black Horse Pike in Blackwood. New Deal Lumber, the best deal since 1934. You love that music, don't you? Well, listen, they're back by popular demand. Cherish the Ladies, an evening of traditional Irish music and dance. Saturday, November 5, 7:30, the Camden Catholic High School, Route 38 at Cuthbert Boulevard in Cherry Hill. Come on in and help the heart of Camden. So if you buy your tickets in advance, they're only $15, $20 at the door. For more information, 966-1212. The Heart of Camden and WNJC, making you smile.
Selenium and zinc and all of those things. So the only thing I would tell you to do is maybe turn your antioxidants up a little bit. If you're taking it once a day, take it twice a day. If you're taking it twice
400
a day,
selenium, and then take 400 E.
What I'm saying is whatever you're doing, you still have the cyst. So take whatever you're doing and double it.
Would the Synthroid dissolve the
It may or may not. I mean, this is one of these questions in medicine we don't know. The fact that your blood thyroid levels are really kind of okay, it really says that the nodule's there, but it's not abnormally functioning. Your thyroid's not low and it's not high. And so all it is a little cyst formation. We run the risk if we put you on Synthroid that we may make you excessive in thyroid. You understand what I'm saying? That we may make you artificially too high, and that could do some damage to your heart. So it's an iffy decision. I try to do it without medication for 2 or 3 months and see what happens.
Then I shouldn't take any. Could I ever dissolve that? Would that ever go away?
Oh, you could dissolve it with nutrients. You could dissolve it with Synthroid. It all depends on what way you want to go at it. But I think you can get it.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Say good night to me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I want to ask you, with the tryptophan, is that the answer?
We can't tell you now. We'll call you at 7:30.
Good night. You know, Dr. Bezosa, one of the letters that were written into us was Lydia and Kay, and they were asking how to take vitamins. Is it before meals, with meals, after meals?
You know, nutrients are supplements. The concept, Linda, is that they're supplementing the food that you're eating. So the answer would be within the meal. Now, I would love to do life optimally. It means I'd love to brush my teeth 3 times a day, and I'd love to be able to get a massage 4 times a week, and I'd love to be able to do all the right things all the time, which is optimal. So that would be the optimal way to take it. Invariably, if you can do it that way, great. If you can't, it's always better to take nutrients with or after a meal. I think taking nutrients without eating, you tend to not get the types of absorption that you need to get these compounds in your system. As we've discussed, and the reason why we are now offering my Equinox multivitamins is because the whole question is can you get nutrients in you day in and day out and day in and day out to maintain certain blood levels that affects the positive change in your chemistry. It's not about taking nutrients here and there. That will have no effect on you. It's about changing your entire internal chemistry over a time span, over a long time. That changes your liver enzyme systems, your muscle enzyme systems, your brain's enzyme systems, your immune system, et cetera, et cetera.
So taking vitamins is something one should be very serious about and not just, once in a while I pop a few and so on. That really doesn't make any substantial impact on your life.
Taking vitamins and brushing your teeth are the analogy for me. Okay, and that's why I said, do you brush your teeth twice a month?
Right.
Or take a shower twice? These are essential compounds. Our food is not giving it to it. Stress is elevating our needs for it. We all need at least a good multivitamin. It's the whole concept of why we have been put together the multivitamin line and why we've been offering it still in the month of November to our Into the 21st Century listeners. If they do call 1-800-37 letter BWELL, it's still free for the first month except for the shipping and handling. And everybody who's been calling for their teenagers and for their children under the age of 13, the 2 formulas that I've put together for the kids, it's called the Bam Bam formula because we have the Jetsons theme, so now we're going to have a Flintstone vitamin, right? I probably get infringement rights on that. But it's called the Bam Bam formula, where will be ready in another week or 2.
Great.
And specifically for teenagers, called Formula 13. Teenagers need vitamins. They never eat right.
They have to make that
Get
call.
nutrients into your teenagers, and it'll help their acne and everything else.
Harold, you're on Into the 21st Century. Tonight it's Ask Dr. Bezosa, and what's your question?
Good evening to both.
Oh,
Good evening.
what a guy.
All right. Listen, I understand that thymus promotes white blood cell activity.
That's right.
And I was wondering if it's advisable to take it during the period in which you have a heavy cold or any type of cold.
Good question, Harold. Let me kind of clear this up because this is the area in where I don't want you to end up wasting your money, okay? Because there are a lot of protomorphogens out there. What protomorphogens are animal glandular products. I'm sure you've seen them in the health food store. It's called like thymus extract or raw thymus gland concentrate, right?
Yes.
Okay. Many of those really, in the process of making the capsule and tablet, you lose the molecule, the atomic integrity of the gland, so that really doesn't have the chemistry that you're looking for. We're going to have December 8th on our show Dr. Wilson, and he's going to be speaking about what are called live cell proteins. Now, live cell proteins are extracted from these glands, And one of the glands, of course, is thymus gland, and they make what's called NAT T cell, or natural thymus cell. This seems to capture the essence of the proteins of the active ingredients in the thymus gland, and this is probably a real compound. Something I'm going to use in viral illnesses like flus and colds. I'm going to give it to my immune-suppressed patients. I may even give it to cancer patients. I think there's something really fascinating out there. So hopefully you'll be listening in a month, and once again, this can be gotten through allergy research. It's called NAT T cell. They come as little ampules. They're liquid, and you take them sublingually. It goes under your tongue, and when you feel like you're coming down with a cold, you put a half of the ampule under your tongue. You leave it there until it evaporates. A couple hours later, you do the same thing, and hopefully one dose should be able to zap a virus.
Would that be better than chicken soup or what's the name of that stuff?
Oscillococcinum.
Oscillococcinum. Well, oscillococcinum, what happens with oscillococcinum is it comes from duck liver, and duck liver also has these antibodies in it. That's why this homeopathic remedy tends to work. What happens in chicken soup has some extract of thymus protein. That's why when your grandmother made it, she took the whole chicken, right, and put it in the whole pot of water, right, and slowly simmered it. And what happens is the glands and everything were in the chicken, and so these live cell proteins from the chicken got into the broth, and you drank the broth. There really was some medicine to it. Have a good night.
Thanks for calling. Sonia, you're on Into the 21st Century, and how can we help you?
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. Good evening.
Good evening.
Linda.
It's okay. Don't be nervous, Sonia. It's talk radio. Everybody in America is listening to you right now.
Oh, that's
good.
Okay.
That's
reassuring her.
Think about it. There are 5 stations listening to you right now from Providence to Philadelphia. There's about 40 million people possibly listening to Into the 21st Century. But you're going to help them by your questions.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I have Orion cyst. I have it already for 10 years.
I didn't understand that, Sonia.
Cyst on the ovary.
You have a cyst on the ovary. Okay.
10 years already.